Happy Monday, January 26, 2026. We've got some really cool stuff to talk about today in comic book news. We've got Jim Lee bringing his art to the Absolute Universe. Could the conclusion of DCKO mean the end of Superman as we know it? And we've got some absolutely crazy stuff going on with Deadpool in April that you just have to see. All that and more. Let's just jump right into it. All right, let's talk about this. DC's April 2026 Superman solicits are missing one obvious thing. Now, the thing that they're missing, I'll spoil this article real quick, is Superman himself. So this article goes on to say, in the latest round of solicits distributed by DC Comics for April 2026, there's no Superman to be found anywhere within them. Shocking indeed, though there's a chance that this is a hardline play to deepen the impacts of the events of DCKO that you have to see to believe. It all begs the question, what's next for Superman? So we do have some of the images here from Superman and Superman Unlimited. Actually, I'll take you to this site, Bleeding Cool. So as you can see right here, we have Superman number 37. All it features is Superboy. Even in the solicit, it says Superboy Prime gets a new real-life job with a new secret identity while he protects Metropolis from dangerous threats. So that's the solicit for Superman, which almost sounds like Superboy Prime is like taking his place, in my opinion. And as you can see, there's the covers right there. And then for Superman Unlimited, it also features Superboy. This one just being the regular Superboy, not Superboy Prime. And the solicit for this one says, Little Superboy lost. Tomorrow Man has a shocking surprise for Lois Lane. His name is John Kent, and he's just a little boy. The reign of the Superboys continues, and possibly the reign of a super monkey. Okay, that might be interesting in itself, but again, no Superman here. So what does this mean coming out of DCKO? I'm not sure. I will say that if you're not reading DCKO, I don't know what you're doing right now. It is one of the best comic book events in years, not just one of the best DC events. I think it's one of the best comic events. It's been so interesting. And yes, the whole Heart of Apocalypse has been used as a plot device, basically to be able to bring a bunch of nostalgia and like really cool epic moments into the fold of this tournament that's undergoing in DCKO. So, I get that, but I still think it's cleverly written, and I still think we're getting some really epic things in the comics for DC. At the end of DCKO 3, we see the Absolute characters coming in to get involved in this tournament, and I'm interested to see where that goes and what the future of the Absolute universe is as well coming out of DCKO. They've done shakeups to Superman in the past. They've literally unalived him. Of course, he came back. This event seems to have been mostly seen through the eyes of Superman in the main DCKO title. So I think he is probably the key to the resolution of this whole event. And we don't know what that means. And the fact that he's not included in these solicits could be pointing to a major shift coming for this character in the future. So let me know what your thoughts are on this. Do you think Superman is going to see a major change, or is he going to be gone, or what's going to happen to him at the end of DCKO? What are your predictions? I want to know what you think in the comments down below. Okay, this is absolutely hilarious. I love that Marvel is doing this, and I love Deadpool as a character. The title of this article reads, Deadpool is back, April is doomed, and Marvel swears this is a real comic. That's great. I love that they have to swear it's a real comic, because let's take a look at the title of this comic they say is coming out in April. April Fool's Day. Really? I actually think this is real. Look at this. Deadpool, April Fool's Day. Now, before we look at all the images, and there's one really, really funny image that I really want to break down. Let's take a look at what this article says. Just when you think there's no way Deadpool can top his cinematic antics that hit a new level in the blockbuster Deadpool and Wolverine, think again. That's because, believe it or not, Ryan Reynolds' version of Wade Wilson, while masterclass in delivery, still pales in comparison to the Marvel Comics original. Strap in for what is set to be one hell of a comic book event coming to pull list near you on April 1st, April Fool's Day. So this is going to be written by Gail Simone, which is great. I think she's going to do an awesome job. And then we also have an artist of CF Villa. Okay, now the best part, let's take a look at the covers. We have Deadpool, April Fool's Day, where we see Deadpool feeling a little left out here. But the one I really want to look at is this one right here. We have Deadpool running away, and all the characters behind him have had some kind of prank pulled on him. So let's take a look at this real quick. We've got Storm with her frizzy hair. We've got Spider-Man shooting Silly String. We've got Hulk with marker all over him. He's shaved Wolverine's head. It looks like he put the funny nose and mustache and eyebrows on Cyclops' visor. Not sure what he did to Captain America here, but he's obviously done something there as well. We've got Miss Marvel all tangled up, and he's covered Thor in feathers. He's which is hilarious to see. Also, we got something going on with the Rogue back here. Okay, I haven't covered everyone in this image, but this is amazing. This cover is so funny. I'm gonna buy this just for the cover, but then also I'm gonna read it, of course. But I mean, just for the cover, I would get this book. This is so funny and so awesome, and I really hope this is a real thing. I think it is. And then we've also got a bunch of interesting stuff going on in this cover where we see a bunch of different versions of Deadpool. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but that looks interesting as well. Like I said, this comes out on April 1st. Gail Simone writer, CF Avila and more as the artists. And yeah, let me know what you think about this comic coming out. Are you going to be picking this up? Do you think this is a real comic? What do you think about that cover I just showed? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, I'm super excited for this. Jim Lee will contribute to DC's Absolute Universe, and we have the first look. So let me just start off by saying he's not doing interior art, which Jim Lee doesn't really do very much nowadays. He usually does covers, and he is doing that, but it's for more than just, you know, a variant cover of an issue. DC Comics Absolute Universe's next major release is set to feature brand new art by none other than Jim Lee. Per the retailer newsletter from DC Comics, fans can look forward to the first hardcover volumes of Absolute Superman, Absolute Batman, and Absolute Wonder Woman. All three titles will be available on Free Comic Book Day, May 2nd, and will have exclusive Free Comic Book Day dust jackets by Jim Lee. So that's really awesome. Let's take a look at these covers. We've got Absolute Wonder Woman, classic Jim Lee fashion with the cross hashing and the just the really realistic take and beautiful art. I love this. I think this is one of my favorite depictions of Absolute Wonder Woman yet. This is amazing. I think this is my favorite of the three. Then we've got Absolute Superman, looking amazing, drawn by Jim Lee. I love the take on the Superman costume in the Absolute Universe. Now, I will say Absolute Superman is the one I am the least caught up on, but I am working on it, and I'm really getting caught up on a lot of my ongoing comics right now. I'm happy to say that I will be caught up on most of the Absolute titles and most of the other titles that I want to be reading here soon. So I'm catching up on this now. And then we have Absolute Batman, of course, looking amazing, drawn by Jim Lee. I mean, I use the word amazing a lot, but I don't care. I mean, there's probably some better descriptors for this, but yeah, this is as, you know, as cool as it gets when it comes to Absolute Batman art. Jim Lee's a master, of course, and I love that he still does so much artwork, even though he's the like editor-in-chief and president of DC Comics. You know, I think it's great that at his core he's an artist, and he, you know, one of the best to ever do it. So yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. So these hardcovers will feature the first 6 issues of each respective hero: Absolute Superman Volume 1, Last Dust of Krypton; Absolute Batman Volume 1, The Zoo; and Absolute Wonder Woman Volume 1, The Last Amazon. My question is, will these be free? I don't think they would give out hardcovers for free. Maybe they would. Maybe they're going to be really thin and they're just going to be like not super high-end books, so they're going to give them away for free. Or maybe they're just going to be available to buy on that date. I actually don't know. I'm a little confused by the fact that they're coming out on New Comic Book Day. But if you know anything about that, please let me know in the comments. And if you have any other thoughts on everything I talked about in this article, let me know in the comments down below. All right, we've got a new Supergirl trailer. Let's take a look at this real quick.
Okay, this does not look
We've seen this before.
well for you guys.
Funny, yeah. I love the coat that she wears. I think it's kind of a cool take on Supergirl.
Gods are not that kind.
Here we have Lobo. Looks great. Yeah, and he is. There's his hook and everything. Okay, let's take a look a little further back. This is straight off the pages of the comic. I mean, Jason Momoa was born to play this role. Hold on, I want to see that hook one more time. He's got the motorcycle and everything. The cigar. He's always has that in the comics. Always has a cigar. There's the hook. Classic hook. He's mowing some people down here. Crypto, and then we've got Millie Alcock, which I think is a great casting, and I'm super excited to see her in this role. I think she's a good actress, and I think that she's relatively young, so she could play this role for potentially a long time, which I think is a bonus. And I think that she has enough range as an actress to play a complicated character like Kara Zor-El. We also have this little behind-the-scenes thing of Jason Momoa with a cigar.
Do you have any comments about playing Lobo?
Finally. Yeah. You know, I will say this, Lobo doesn't show up that much in the comics. I almost wish he showed up more. He's almost like Deadpool in a way where he jokes and he doesn't care and he is a nuisance, really. And it's great that they cast Jason Momoa for this. This is one of the best castings that I've seen thus far in the DC universe. I just hope that they make more use of Lobo than what they do in the comics, because he doesn't show up as much in the comics. Like, they should be doing way more with Lobo in the comics, and they're not. And I'm just worried that Lobo is going to show up here and he's not going to show up in a lot of later DC cinematic universe stuff, you know, and it's just going to be a shame because this is such a great casting. So James Gunn, make use of Jason Momoa in this role. Bring him in, even if it's little parts and different things. You know, I want to see more of this. Even though I haven't seen this movie yet, I already think this is just an amazing casting. So let me know what your thoughts are on this, and let me know, are you excited to see the Supergirl movie? Are you excited for this casting of Jason Momoa being Lobo? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Okay, let's take a look at the new comics coming out January 28th, 2026, this Wednesday. We've got Absolute Batman number 16, obviously featuring Wonder Woman, Absolute Wonder Woman. This is going to be great. I love this cover. Oh, and I didn't even notice this because I was so distracted by Absolute Batman and Wonder Woman. Absolute Killer Croc is there as well. Although I guess he's not really Killer Croc, but he is the character that represents Killer Croc in this universe. You know what I mean? He's down there at the bottom. So interested to see where they go with that character as well. And I'm super excited for this issue of Absolute Batman. Then we have Absolute Wonder Woman. It's been great so far. Absolute Martian Manhunter. This is one I need to get caught up on, but this is an amazing pickup as well. Absolute Flash. We've got all the Absolute titles coming out. This is great. Detective Comics. I saw this cover a while ago. This looks really, really cool, actually. I definitely want to pick this issue up to see what's going on there with that really cool Batman suit. I think this is something to do with him having a disease that he's carrying, or trying not to get a disease or something like that. Let me know what's going on with that comic if you're reading it. Then we have DCKO tie-in Superman. This is going to be really interesting. I think this one has big implications for DCKO. So I think this is a tie-in, but I think this is one that we should all read for sure. We have another tie-in to DCKO, Justice League Unlimited. Justice League Unlimited has been really great just as its own thing. Like, aside from DCKO, I think it was a good idea, and I think the writing has been really good. So I think it's a title that people should be reading, even if you're not trying to get the tie-ins and everything for DCKO. And I'm actually excited to see that title go forward after this event is over, so it can kind of be its own thing again and focus on some really cool characters that they've brought into the Justice League, like Star Sapphire, for instance. I love that addition to the Justice League. We've got Absolute Spider-Man Annual, DCKO tie-in Flash, Green Lantern, Miles Morales Spider-Man, The Punisher, Void Rivals, which is also really great, Robert Kirkman, Iron Man #1, with a creative team of Joshua Williamson and artist Cameron Carnero. So that's exciting, and there's a lot of different variant covers here. I didn't know about that, but if this is a new creative team in #1 going forward, and that art looks amazing, by the way, I think this could be a really solid pickup. And Joshua Williamson is a great writer. So, you know, this could be our first really, really good Iron Man title in a while going forward. I think that's definitely a good one. G.I. Joe, The Hulk, this has been good, I've heard as well. Justice League Red, I've been reading, has been really great. And we've got others, but let's go ahead and take a look at the omnibuses coming out this week as well. Oh, I'm not seeing any omnibuses this week. Maybe there just isn't any. The next week they're showing some. Oh, look at this. What's coming out next week? Red Rising, Sons of Ares. My wife has read those books. If this has something to do with that. Yeah, I think it does. That's interesting. Actually, I'm going to let her know about that because maybe I'll get that and read it. And I'm looking at next week. But yeah, no omnis coming out this week, at least not according to League of Comic Geeks. So that's it for the new comics and omnibuses this week. That's it for comic book news, January 26, 2026. As always, let me know if there's anything major that I missed in this video. Let me know what your thoughts are on the different topics that I talked about in the comments down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.